in some of our societies, families, and amongst our friends, there are certain myths about mental health that keep circulating, and actually people continue to believe these concoctions. This, unlike the other fact-checking shows, we are demystifying perceptions, myths, stereotypes, misinformation and disinformation about mental health and about people with mental health. These perceptions continue to affect and be a barrier or a danger to the people with mental health issues. My name is Marion Apio. Let's start by listing some of these stereotypes and negative perceptions about mental health in our communities. For example, that children cannot be affected with mental health, that patients with mental health issues cannot recover fully, and that they are very violent. We speak to Dr. Muron, one of the senior psychiatrists at Butabika Hospital in Uganda, and together we demystify these misinformation, disinformation, and negative stereotypes about mental health and mental health patients.
In terms of mental health problems, the first perception is that a person who has a mental health problem is that person who maybe has undressed, throwing stones in the streets, which is really a misconception because mental health issues are closer to all of us. In the first place, we all have experienced some challenges in life. Worries, for example, difficulty falling asleep, or indeed having fear about something, although that thing is not there. Or even just happiness. You just find that you don't have happiness as you used to, and you are struggling. In this case, we are talking about depression. We are talking about anxiety, even suicide thoughts, and then of course addiction. Each and every one of us knows a friend, a family member who is affected by addiction, and these are what mental health problems. We struggle coping with daily challenges. So it's not about someone who's poorly groomed, who's walking in the streets. Again, this is a very common misperception that people with mental health problems are violent. If someone is depressed, often they remove themselves from interacting with people. It's not really that they become more violent than the general population. What we know is that when people are severely mentally disturbed in conditions what we call psychosis, then they may exhibit violent behavior, either because they are responding to voices, or because they are being provoked, or they have beliefs that people want to harm them. We tend to ignore supporting people who have mild forms of mental health issues. For example, we know a friend may be stressed, and we all keep quiet. We all remove ourselves from them because we see they are changing. And because of this perception that they must first become very sick, then we miss out to support them early. If someone who's hearing these voices or has beliefs that people against them are treated early, then it's less likely that the illness will progress with complications of serious violence. Most countries, when they develop mental health programs, they put mental health issues of young people at the forefront of the programming, because most mental health problems start in early adulthood, or in fact in adolescence. And again, depending on the challenges which communities follow. For example, just think about this COVID era. All the challenges which we have had during COVID affects young people more. But even before, we knew that about 20% of children and adolescents experience some form of mental health problem. And parents are not aware. And sometimes the response from the schools and the parents actually makes the condition worse. So suddenly, mental health issues of young people are a concern. So we need to have a conversation so that people know signs of mental illness, how to support people who are going through stressful life conditions. And when we experience them, we should come out to seek for support from friends, family, and then of course our health professionals. Because mental health issues are not only issues of the Ministry of Health. They are much more broader, because we still think that to promote mental health means treat people who are unwell, which really is not the case.
How do we put a stop to mental health stigma? According to National Alliance on Mental Health Illness, there are 3 steps for being stigma-free. Step 1, educate yourself and others. Understanding mental health is not only about being able to identify symptoms and having a name for conditions, but dispelling false ideas about mental health conditions as well. Step 2, see the person, not the condition. condition. Whether you are a friend, family member, caregiver, or a medical professional, getting to know a person and treating them with kindness and empathy means far more than just knowing what they are going through. Step 3, take action. We should all take action and push for better legislation and policies to improve lives for everyone. Our hope is that if you're watching this show, you educate yourself and inform yourself and others about stopping to spread mental health misinformation, disinformation, and stereotypes in your community. Our bigger hope, though, is that every person with mental health issues can live in a world that is full of positivity and one that is free of mental health stigma, stereotypes, and misinformation. Thank you for watching The Debunk. Until next time, my name is Marion Apio.